The United States federal government ought to pay reparations to African Americans. African Americans have almost for our country's whole history been treated unfairly and have been taken advantage of. Our proud nation, which boasts freedom and equality for all, actually carries a very dark and disturbing past. This country was founded on and grew to what it is today on the basis of slavery. These poor people were kidnapped and forced to travel halfway around the world. Once they were there, these people were made to do backbreaking labor and endure appalling conditions. It seems that the people just want to brush this disturbing truth under the carpet and forget about it. I, however, believe that the people who were made to undergo these atrocities should be compensated for what they had to endure. These unfortunate people were forced to endure roughly 300 years of legalized oppression. To be more specific, before the Civil War, there was 175 years of lawful slavery, then roughly another 100 years of legislated and legal oppression with things such as the Jim Crow laws, which continued into the late 20th century. To endure such conditions for a period of that long and to not have been helped by the government or receive reparations is nothing short of sickening. We're not talking about a span of 5 years, 10 years, or even 50. We're talking 300 years. That's absurd, especially when other people have been received and gotten reparations for wrongdoings in time that is not even remotely as long as African Americans were forced to endure. I'm talking about the Japanese Americans that were sent to the internment camp shortly after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. How then does our government believe that it's okay to give reparations to this group when their period of oppression was shorter, affected far less people, and did significantly less harm? These people weren't whipped, they weren't beaten, and mainly they weren't treated as property for their whole lives. No, for some reason we feel that this small group is more deserving of reparations than a huge portion of our country's population that was undeniably wronged. Reparations are doable. Not only have Japanese Americans been compensated, but also have Native Americans by the U.S. government. So why then do African Americans get excluded? But giving reparations not only helps African Americans directly, but it also shows a moral commitment by the United States to truly try and solve the wrongs this country has committed. This makes them feel not as ostracized and left alone by the government, and it starts the process of instilling hope into them and lets them know that the U.S. is committed to ending racial discrimination and prejudice. African Americans today still have troubles in societies. This can be seen in our school systems, as African Americans are more likely to attend high-poverty schools and are less likely to graduate from high schools and subsequently attend college rates at lower than any other racial group, according to the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. In 2005, the graduation rate for African Americans was 47%. The small percentage of people who can actually finish high school then has to deal with the problems of enrolling in college. Due to the extremely high cost of attending college, most African Americans don't have the means to pay for this schooling, and it puts more restraints on them. If these people were given the means to benefit themselves, it would greatly benefit their community and culture as a whole. The restraints in schooling only give them access to the lowest paying jobs and continues the cycle of poverty that these people were forced to endure, and still do. State governments could end education budgets based on local property taxes, which disadvantage poor communities and disproportionately hurt blacks, and the federal government could invest in school reconstruction, modernization, and vouchers for parents who want to send their children to private schools, in addition to higher education subsidies for black Americans. These in-kind benefits have the virtue of freeing up disposable income for African Americans, and they can put new wealth into better health care, housing, or a variety of different things. Although it is easy to focus on the materialistic aspects of reparations, one should consider the psychological aspects that come with reparations. It's a formal way of apologizing in an attempt to move closer to the ideal racially assimilated society. I personally feel that the best way to go about giving reparations to African Americans would be not to directly give them money, but rather invest this money in institutions such as education, economic opportunities for African Americans. This would give them the means to help themselves and prevent any argument about who gets the money. By investing in education and economic opportunities, we allow these people access to new benefits and opportunities that would otherwise be unobtainable due to the long-standing impact of slavery and the racial discrimination that is still present in our society today.